Today I'm going to be installing a brand new bed rack system by a new company called Billy Bars. I'm going to go over in this video exactly why I'm switching to the Billy Bar system and how you install it. Y'all stick around. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name's TJ. Welcome to Kayak USA. My channel is usually geared toward fishing and kayak DIY and bass boat restoration and things like that. But currently I am in the middle of turning my 2020 Toyota Tacoma into an overland style vehicle. I'm kind of doing one video at a time, one mod at a time. This is actually episode number 6 in that series, so if you want to get caught up on the series, I'll put a playlist right in here somewhere. You can check it out, watch the other 5 videos, and get caught up to this point. But today's video, episode number 6, like I said, and we're going to be installing a brand new bed rack system that just hit the market by a company called Billy Bars. Now, I'm going to be removing my old bed rail system, but I really want to hit on today this Billy Bar system that I'm putting on and not so much the one that I'm taking off. There's a few key things that I was looking for whenever I was going on the market to find a bed rack system to haul a rooftop tent. Once I decided I wanted a rooftop tent, I knew that I wanted to still be able to drive in and out of my garage when I had it on so that I could put a hoist system like I already have in my garage so I can lift and lower and store my rooftop tent in my garage. So that being said, I couldn't put the rooftop tent on the cab of my truck because it would be too tall. Therefore, I couldn't go with a rack system that was too tall and have it, too tall to get in my garage. So what I had to make sure that I was looking for was a low profile rack that went over the bed of my truck. The second thing that I had to have was a tonneau cover. Now I knew that I wanted to run a tonneau cover because when I'm going on long camping trips, all of our gear is going to be in the bed of the truck and I wanted it out of the weather. I didn't want it to get soaking wet if it started raining and stuff like that. So those two things, I had to have a low profile rack to keep my tent at least level with the roof of my cab, and I wanted to be able to run a tonneau cover. So Billy Bars is a new company that just come out. They sell a rack system just for what I was looking for. Now there is a big difference in this rack system and the one I'm coming off, the one that I'm pulling off today. So I'm not making this video to bash any other company. These are KB Voodoos, as you can probably tell because it says Voodoo right here on the side. I'm not making this video to bash them, but I just want you guys to know there is a difference out there, okay? This is an all steel C-channel. This is not a solid piece of aluminum or anything like that. This is an all steel, so it's painted, and every time you mount the tent on and off of these bars, it takes the paint off. If you don't repaint it, it will rust. I've had to repaint these several times and I've only had them for about a month. This is the new Billy Bar rack, just one of them. So as you can see, this is solid aluminum, and all the way around it, it has a T-track system, just like you have on your kayaks and stuff like that, where you can put little things in here and mount them and do what they sell all kind of attachments, bike attachments, kayak attachments, stuff like that, and it will work on these channels. So not to mention this one bar right here will hold 500 static pounds on the bed of your truck. This entire KB Voodoo rack system only holds a maximum of 500. So if you go with the Billy Bars, you're actually doubling what you could. I'm going to be doubling my weight capacity, which is great. These bars have a lot of sway, I've noticed. With this rooftop tent, now this rooftop tent obviously doesn't weigh 500 static pounds. When it's sitting still, this is only, I think it's 150 pounds, something like that. But when I'm driving down the road and I look in my rearview mirror, I can actually see these bars kind of dipping down, up and down, when I'm driving. These will not do that. These are solid aluminum. And the side plates, let me just set this down because it's heavy. The side plates are a lot different as well. So you can see these side plates, I don't think these are powder coated. They may be, but if they are, it's not a high quality powder coat. I've had to paint over them several times, as you can, I don't know if you can see on camera, but a lot of rust was coming through and I keep having to paint over them. This is the Billy Bars side rack. Now, I hope it shows up on camera really well, but this is really solid. These are steel. The welds are perfect. I mean, that is amazing how they were able to weld this so smoothly. And it, as you notice, will not have the racks protruding off the side of the panel. So once this is mounted on the truck, those aluminum racks that I just had in my hand will actually just drop down into this cup, and the racks are threaded. So the bolts will go directly through the side into the rack and thread right on. Now what's really cool about this is Billy Bars actually makes I think it's called a molly panel system, something like that. And you can mount them across the bars on the side of your truck, something like this right here. So you can mount things like rotopacks, shovels, high lift jack, things like that. But what that gives you the capability of doing, and this is what I really love about it, once we get this mounted on here, I'm gonna be able to take off my middle bars every time I lift my tent off. I'm gonna leave my Billy Bars attached to my rooftop tent back in here, use my hoist, pick my tent up with the Billy Bars on it, and that'll leave my side panels right here, and I'll be able to use the bed of my truck and keep the side panels on with my high lift jack or whatever I decide to put on these panels. So that is really cool. I can't wait to get these things on. So I hope that explained everything to you guys well enough on why I'm switching. I wanted to get that point across at the beginning of the video before we start installing. I wanted you guys to know why I'm switching, and I'm not just spending money to be spending money. I'm actually doing the research to hopefully help you guys out if you get in the market and you're wanting to do the same thing that I'm doing right now. So let's get this rooftop tent off, let's get the tonneau cover off, and let's get these Billy Bars installed. All right, so now that we've got the rooftop tent taken off, we've got the tonneau cover taken off, we are going to pop on the new Billy Bars side plates and replace these old KB Voodoo side plates. When you do that, now this is gonna be different for everybody's truck, so don't freak out if mine mounts up different than yours. If you get on billybars.com, you'll see that they offer this rack for a variety of different trucks. So let me get another camera angle for you real quick and I'll show you how mine mount. Let's see. All right, so as you can see, this plate, this is the old plate I'm taking off, and it bolts into the gear track. And the way it bolts into a gear track on my truck is with these little T's. See these little blocks right here? These blocks actually slide into the gear track system, and then the bolts go straight through the plate, just like here, and they bolt the plate against the side of the truck. Now, like I said, don't freak out if your truck doesn't have these gear track systems, because there's different ways that you can mount this to the bed of your truck. So it doesn't have to have the gear track system in order for it to mount to the bed of your truck. That's just the way these are. What I'm gonna do is, since I've already got these little T-blocks in the rail of my truck, I don't have to slide these back out. What I'm gonna do is just take off the old KB Voodoo mounts, leave the old blocks in there, and just bolt them back on exactly where these were, because I really like the position where my rails were with the old racks, and I don't want to really change anything. So let's get that swapped out real quick and drop the new bars on and see how they look. All right, I have got all 4 plates on. They look great, and you can actually really feel the difference in this one versus this one. The bends on here I don't know if you can see it, but the actual paint or whatever it is, I really don't think it's powder coat, but if it is, it's very light. It's just kind of flaking off in my hands. And the metal it feels thinner. I'm not sure the exact thickness of this, but this feels so much better. You can actually see the powder coat is a flat black. It's got the feel to it like a powder coat. This is just really slick. So these are actually a lot better than what I just took off. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna test fit the bars and make sure everything is square and lined up before I put my tonneau cover back on, because I wanna make sure that I don't have to crawl up under my tonneau cover and readjust any of these. So let's set the bars up here real quick, make sure everything's square, lined up, and we'll put the tonneau cover on, and then I'll show you how the molly panel, I hope I'm saying that right. I think it's called the molly panel. How that panel actually bolts onto the side of the truck. I can't wait to see how that looks. So let's test fit these bars. Oh, real quick, before I test fit the bars, I did want to show you, let me grab this other camera. These are the KB Voodoo bars that I took off. And I wanted to show you, if you flip them over, they are just a hollow channel. I don't know how well you can see because of the lighting in here, but you see how it's just a hollow channel, like my hand's inside of it? And then you can see the rust that is just kind of all over it. And I just painted these 2 weeks ago, and it just flakes off of there. It's a big difference compared to what we're putting on here. So let's get these on. And I really like that these have the little pockets to set them in. I guess you gotta flex it out just a little bit. Look at that. And then when you set it on there, I keep having to grab this other camera because I don't know what y'all can see, but the holes line up perfectly. The holes inside this bar, look how flush this is. I mean, that is so much better. And then the bolts will go straight through here. I will tell you a good tip right now while I'm thinking about it. These are aluminum. The hardware that is sent is this right here. This is the hardware they send you to bolt down the steel to aluminum. This is all stainless steel hardware, so you don't have to worry about it rusting. But that being said, you do want to make sure you use some sort of anti-seize on the threads when you're bolting all this together, because when you combine stainless steel against aluminum, the aluminum can give if you go too tight, and you can lock it up in there and tear things up. So always use anti-seize when you're using stainless steel into aluminum. So I'm gonna do that today. But let's test fit the other bar, make sure everything's square, then we'll pull the bars out and throw the tonneau cover back on the truck. All right, so the tonneau cover is back on. Everything looks great. As you can see, the Billy Bar side mounting brackets are they are solid on the truck. Now, if you order the molly panel, which I really hope I'm still saying that correctly, it'll come with these two brackets right here. Now let me grab the hardware in the panel. There's the panel. And here is the hardware. I got some anti-seize. Here's the stainless steel hardware that comes for bolting these panels on. I'm just gonna pour them out right here and show you something that's really cool about these. So this is the stainless steel bolts that they send when you're bolting on the side bars, the bars to the side plates, and any accessories. And what's really cool about that is they send you these that take a special Torx bit. So yes, you will have to purchase a special bit. You can get it at the auto parts store, Lowe's, or wherever. But this is the TT40 Torx bit, and all it is the star bit with a little dimple. I hope it shows up on camera. There's a little dimple right in the middle that sticks up. So you can't just stick a regular star bit in here and take these off. What this is for is to keep your stuff safe. If you're in an environment where you have to leave your vehicle, people aren't gonna have that bit. I mean, it's gonna be very rare for someone to just have a TT40 Torx bit in their vehicle when they swing by to steal your bars off your truck or anything that you've got attached to your bars. That's why they send these. It works out really great. I have one right here on an impact, and what we're gonna do is get these side brackets mounted up. And what these are, these put it at an angle so that when they're mounted, oh, I got it upside down. When they're mounted, it actually angles the panels on the side so they're not just straight up and down. It actually kicks them out at an angle. I've got the panel upside down like this. And what's really cool about this is once we get this all bolted together, the holes line up with the holes for your bars. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna leave these bars attached to my tent at all times, and all I'm gonna have to do is go through these holes on my side panel with my TT40 Torx bit, zip these out on all four corners, and then raise my tent off with the bars, and my panels will get to stay on my truck just like this. Full access to the bed of my truck, which is absolutely fantastic. I love this design. They knocked it out of the park when they designed this. So let's get everything bolted together real quick and you can see what I'm talking about. If I'm not mistaken, these little holes go towards the bottom, so these bigger holes are at the top, so you can, hey, that's gonna work. That is gonna work out perfect. That is gonna look so good. Now, that you don't go up too high, you have to go in the middle, it looks like right there. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's get all these set up real quick. And all I'm doing is sliding the bolt through with a washer, and then I'm going from behind, sliding the washer on, and starting the nut. Now, as I snug everything down, all I'm gonna do is make sure that the holes are lined up and everything just kind of looks centered. I don't know how well you guys can see it right there, but I'll give you a close-up shot. So, what I'm gonna do is, here's the holes. Let's see if you can see from my hands behind there. Those are the two holes right there that are gonna bolt the crossbars together. You just wanna make sure that you can access them. I'm gonna slide this down a little bit so that everything's kind of center. Same thing on this end, just like that. And we're just gonna tighten it all up. Now I'm just gonna go back around and snug them down. I'm not gonna over tighten these. I don't think it needs it. It's got the lock washers. And boom, just like that, these things are installed. I love them, man. This is such a major upgrade to what I just pulled off. These are solid. Like I mentioned earlier, 500 pounds each. So this rack system will hold 1,000 static pounds on top of it. Gear track system, it's made right here in the US. I'm super happy with this. I wasn't sure how I felt about this panel, so I only ordered one, but I'm really liking it. Tell me what you think about this side panel down in the comments, if you would run this side panel or not, because I think I'm gonna go ahead, get on billybars.com and order the other side panel. I'm gonna link this in the video description. Every bit of this will be linked below. So if you're shopping for a good rack system for the bed of your truck, low profile, you can run a tonneau cover with no problem at all, this is the one you want to go for. Trust me, I've done the research. You can look around, but I guarantee for the price and the quality, billybars.com is going to have the best rack system that you can find right now. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. I notice a lot of you guys are not subscribed that are watching. I get all the views, but I notice that a very small percentage of you guys are actually hitting that subscribe button. So do me a favor, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified. I got another mod coming up. The parts are here for the next video, so I'm gonna be filming it very soon. Look out for that one. And yeah, if this video helped you, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.